probably know that the US leads the world in the most Olympic medals won, the most number of Nobel laureates, and the most billionaires.
But we also lead the world in some other ways.
Created especially for Independence Day, a satirical sophomoric salute to America, featuring a few snarky 20-somethings. It was produced by the social media site Al Jazeera Plus, which is part of Al Jazeera America, which in turn is owned by Al Jazeera, the Qatar-based Arab Islamic media company. Somehow I don't think these American kids would riff on the pronunciation of Qatar, asking if it rhymes with gutter or should sound more like guitar. But they're happy to sound off with sour notes on modern American life.
Not to brag, but we have the most incarcerated people in the world. God bless the prison industrial complex.
Prison industrial complex, huh? Not a word about the American judicial system nor the tradition of American jurisprudence, which is exceptional when you stop and think about it. It starts with the assumption that you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law before a jury of your peers. You must be read your rights at the time of arrest, and if you cannot afford legal counsel, a lawyer will be provided for you at government expense. Certainly this young woman isn't suggesting that the guilty go free, or is she? At any rate, while she wants to put her finger on the scales held by Lady Justice, scales of a different kind attract the notice of another smug sophomore.
When it comes to obesity, we lead the global Mickey D's line. A third of us can't even see our own toes.
Hey, Einstein Jr., take off your heckling hat and put on your thinking cap. You say 1/3 of Americans are obese? Well, that just means that a supermajority, 2/3, are not. And you can include in that large group the U.S. women's soccer team. Of course, the American squad won the World Cup yesterday, and as they gained the world title, it was obvious none of them needed to lose weight. You must forgive the next young critic of our country. Apparently, he thinks job one is to eliminate our Second Amendment.
Pew pew, we've got 90 guns per 100 persons. Sorry, Yemen, we beat you in drones and guns.
Forgive me, but when somebody starts their argument with an immature sound effect, it's difficult to avoid the temptation to lapse into an ad hominem response. So I won't. Who is this bearded kid? The same young twit who was Pajama Boy in those Obamacare ads, but now with whiskers? Hey son, this bulletin just in. The U.S. is not Yemen. We have a constitution here and a Bill of Rights, and the fact that so many Americans lawfully own firearms will keep our constitutional republic from ever resembling a troubled nation like Yemen. But wait, there's more.
Credit card debt? Grab your Visa because we lead the world in that too. Just think of all the air miles.
The young lady makes a fair point about individual credit card debt, but it pales beside the national debt she somehow does not bring herself to discuss. Sorry, Miss Obama bot, but the hope and change your fearless leader has foisted on our nation could very well send us over the fiscal cliff. And no number of air miles can lift us out of that huge debt once it reaches $24 trillion.
So, if anyone ever tells you America's not that great, just say, God bless the country with the most deaths by lawnmower.
Oh, such cutting remarks. Death by lawnmowers? Really? Well, let's see. We're a country of almost 350 million people, and there's a lot of grass to cut, especially in the summertime. But to suggest that lawnmower-related fatalities would rank as some sort of national flaw, well, that's the essence of snark. But congrats to the American Al Jazeera youth. And with our well wishes for such well thought out satire, let me suggest the following. Why don't you try the same criticism of the Arab and Islamic countries that make up the bulk of the Al Jazeera viewing audience? Something tells me you would encounter a blade. It would not come from a lawnmower, and it wouldn't be by accident. At least that's the way I see it. I'll be looking for you here tomorrow night. For now, stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.